You've probably been told your entire life that you must sleep 8 hours at night to stay healthy, but new research just discovered that you might actually be slowly destroying your cognitive abilities by forcing the 8-hour sleep rule without even realizing it. In fact, your daytime fatigue, your inability to fall asleep early, and even your late-night anxiety probably aren't signs that you're bad at sleeping. What if it is about your body simply being wired differently? Maybe you're naturally a night owl trying to live like an early bird, and your biology is fighting back every single day. In this video, we'll explore sleep expert Dr. Michael Breus's 4 genetic chronotypes and how they explain your natural sleep patterns, your energy levels, and why changing your sleep routine has always felt like an uphill battle. You'll also learn how to work with your body's internal clock instead of constantly struggling against it, like billions of people do today. According to sleep specialist Dr. Michael Breus, your body doesn't randomly decide when to feel awake or sleepy. It has a sleep code, and most people naturally fall into one of 4 chronotypes. Think of them as your body's factory settings. Let's see which one sounds most like you. Lions make up about 15% of the population. They wake up before everyone else, often without an alarm. Their focus is razor sharp in the morning, they're highly productive before lunch, and by evening, they're running on empty. If you've ever wondered why some CEOs, athletes, and early risers seem unstoppable at 6 a.m., it's simply their sleep code. Bears are the majority, making up roughly 55% of people. Their energy rises and falls with the sun. They wake up comfortably around 7, perform best in the late morning, and naturally become sleepy around 11 at night. In fact, the traditional 9-to-5 workday suits bears so well that many researchers believe our modern schedule unintentionally favors them. Now meet the wolf. About 15% of people belong here. If mornings feel like torture, but your creativity suddenly comes alive after sunset, you're probably a wolf. You've likely been called lazy for sleeping in, but here's the twist. You may not be lazy at all. Your brain is simply running on a different biological clock. Many writers, musicians, programmers, and creative thinkers often produce their best work long after everyone else has gone to bed. Then there's the rarest personality of all, the dolphin. Dolphins are naturally light sleepers. Their minds are constantly active, making it difficult to stay asleep for long periods. They're often intelligent, detail-oriented, and highly sensitive to stress, but that same active mind can make restful sleep frustratingly difficult. If you've ever felt exhausted even after spending enough hours in bed, this could be why. Tell us in the comments section which one you are, a lion, a bear, a wolf, or a dolphin. Now, why does all of this really matter to you? Imagine forcing a wolf to wake up at 5 every morning for work, or asking a lion to stay productive until midnight every night. Eventually, their biological clock and their daily schedule will begin pulling in opposite directions. Sleep scientists call this circadian misalignment, or social jet lag. In a landmark study by Chalapa, Morris, and Shear, they found that people who got enough total sleep but were simply awake at the wrong biological time experienced significant reduction in several important brain functions. The first was attention. People had a harder time staying focused and were more likely to miss important signals. Think about reading the same paragraph multiple times because your brain just isn't locking in. Next was information processing. Simple mental tasks took longer and reaction times slowed, making everyday activities like studying, driving, or even playing sports more difficult. Learning also suffered, so even if you spend the same amount of time studying, your brain may not absorb as much because it's working against its natural biological rhythm. Lastly, visual motor performance declined. Participants became less accurate and more prone to mistakes in tasks requiring coordination, like typing, driving, or playing sports. But perhaps the most surprising finding was this: people didn't realize they were performing worse, even though objective tests showed clear decline. That's what makes circadian misalignment so deceptive, and billions of people don't even realize they are destroying their cognitive abilities. This is why a natural wolf may struggle through an 8 a.m. meeting, yet solve difficult problems effortlessly at 10 p.m. Same intelligence, different timing. Discipline is important, but the highest levels of performance don't come from ignoring your biology. They come from understanding it and working with it instead of against it. If you've learned something, hit the like button and share so others can too. It is time to stop counting total hours and start planning your sleep in 90-minute sleep cycles. Here's how you can use Dr. Bruce's work to structure your night. Step 1. Determine your cycle number. The average person needs 5 sleep cycles per night, which equals 7.5 hours of sleep, not 8. Some people only need 4 cycles, which translates to 6 hours, while others need 6 cycles, which equals 9 hours. Step 2. Set your biological wake-up time. Identify when your chronotype naturally wants to wake up. For a bear, this is 7 a.m. For a wolf, it might be 8:30 a.m. Do not set this based on social pressure. Set it based on when your brain naturally clears grogginess. Step 3. Count backwards by 90-minute blocks. If you're a wolf waking at 8:30 a.m., count 5 90-minute blocks. Your ideal sleep time is 1 p.m. Step 4. Factor in falling asleep. Add 20 minutes to your target time to account for falling asleep. If your target is 1 p.m., turn the lights off at 12:40 p.m. If you've learned something so far, let us know by hitting the subscribe button. Perhaps the biggest myth about sleep is that one pattern can work for everyone. For years, many of us have blamed ourselves for feeling tired. We called ourselves lazy and undisciplined, when in reality, we may have simply been living out of sync with our biology. Your genes do influence the rhythm your body naturally wants to follow, and the more you understand that rhythm, the easier it becomes to work with your body instead of constantly fighting against it. So here's a simple challenge. For the next 3 days, pay attention to your natural sleep patterns. Notice when you become sleepy, when you naturally wake up, and how your energy changes throughout the day. You might discover that your body has been giving you the right answers all along. You just didn't know how to listen. If you enjoyed this video and want more science-backed ideas on psychology and personal growth, consider subscribing and turning on notifications.